What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Mastermind Creations Kultur, or their version of a masterpiece scale Tarn. It is semi-masterpiece scale. This reformatted line is a little bit smaller than some masterpiece, but pretty good for what it is here. This is actually an older figure. This was sent to me by Niles. Not only is a good friend, but also my fellow New Yorker here. So thanks for allowing me to take a look at your copy. And we got this guy, but we're actually, kind of preparing to compare this and take a look at the new KO oversized Legacy Tarn. A new company just did a KO of that. I think it's Black Mamba. And that looks pretty cool. So it'll be nice to see how that compares to this guy. But for now, let's take a look at this figure. And it really is gorgeous. It's got a lot of nice accents and details. Silver, this pinkish purple, gold accents. The guns are nicely sculpted and detailed. Silver along the tank treads here, along the sides. A little bit of pink and purple here on this front sled. And a little bit of pink in there. Silver on the guns. Here's the back. You got a little bit of that gold, which we'll see more in the robot mode. But overall, it's a very nice looking tank. It does have some features. You can rotate this around. You have to kind of lift it up a little bit. If you have it pushed all the way down, it does get stuck. So you just lift it up just a hair, and then you can rotate it all the way around. You can also lift up on these guns and angle those however you like. These front guns also can be angled in any direction. So that is nice. Aren't any wheels or anything on the bottom. It's just, tank treads. It can just sit on that. It doesn't really roll. It just slides along. But overall, it's a really nice looking tank. There's actually a hidden feature. If you rotate this to the back, you'll see there's some little panels right here in the front. If you open up those panels, there's little purple missiles in there. And they actually remove. I'm not really sure what the purpose is, but I guess you could pretend that these are firing off. That's a pretty neat little detail. You don't typically get stuff like that more recently. And then if you open up this middle one, there's some more guns or rockets, whatever you want to call them. So you get 3 little compartments there, which I think is pretty neat. And for a quick size comparison, there is next to the Magic Square Optimus Prime. And like I mentioned earlier, it is a little bit smaller than what you would expect in the masterpiece scale for a tank, but it can fit in. You can make it work. So there you go. All right, now let's get this guy transformed into robot mode. It's actually a very fun and intuitive transformation. Go ahead and remove this from the top here and just set that aside. Use that in a minute. We'll start with the legs. So go ahead and lift up on this kneecap. We're going to unpeg the foot. It's pegged in right here on this tab. We're going to unpeg the legs from each other. Open up this tab, this knee, all the way down. You can see that's the front of the leg. You can take this foot, rotate that down, collapse the foot in to the shin here. Come to the back, and we'll rotate this into the back of the leg. Right? Same thing on this side. Go ahead and open up the knee, flip down the leg, rotate the tread in, rotate the foot down, and then collapse it in. So there are the legs. Let's work on the upper body now. We're going to go ahead and unpeg the arms. They're pegged in right here into the side of the hips. So unpeg those. There's also a peg up here that holds it into the side of this tread. We're going to take this, slide this outwards on a peg. And it can be a little tight, but slide it out like that. We're going to rotate it up, slide that back in, straighten up the arm, and then rotate the arm towards the front so this panel's on the outside, and then rotate the hand so it's straight. All right, same on this side. Hold this out, rotate it around, push it back in, straighten out the arm, rotate the arm, rotate the hand. Okay, now we'll come to this top part here, unpeg this panel from here. This is on a double hinge. You're going to bring the double hinge down, so make sure you actually get it to fold down. And then there's a tab right here going into a slot on the chest. So line that up, get that tabbed in. And it should be looking something like this. Come to the back. We're going to open up the ab crunch. I'll give us a little room to work. I'll let you open up this panel here. We can flip these panels, basically unpeg them from each other, flip them outwards. Then you're going to open up this panel, and in there is the head. So you can just use your thumb or finger to pull on this, close that panel up, close up the backpack, which is pegging right back into there. And then these will angle outwards. And then you can close up the ab crunch. All right, and there we have Kultur in his robot mode, and it looks really good. Those pink accents and highlights really stand out here on the legs, on the abs, on the chest. All that looks really good. He's kind of naked without his gun, so we'll just get that attached. There's a peg right here that'll go into the side of the arm. And now he's armed up, and I think that looks good. But it really looks nice. Let's go over the articulation. And that head sculpt is perfect. They nailed that Decepticon logo look for the face mask. But the head is on a hinge, so it goes down to there, back to there, side to side, and it rotates all the way around. You get a little bit of silver detail on the side of the head. Nice, gorgeous purple paint for the face. Shoulders go on a hinge right here. It's actually a ball joint and a hinge on that inner joint. So you can move that inner joint and then you can move on the hinge. So you can get some nice movement out of that. You have a rotation of the bicep, nice tight tolerances. You have a double jointed elbow, but due to the sculpt, you get it up to there. Almost the full bend, not quite. You have a rotation of the bicep, rotation at the wrist, single pin for the hands. Not typical for Masterpiece scale, but for the reformatted line, that does kind of make sense. You do have panels here. They're just in a different color. I do like how that looks. Coming out of the waist, you have a rotation. The ab crunch, which I showed you, which is part of the transformation, but it does have a locking point. So you just a nice ab crunch all the way down to there. Legs will kick up to there on a ratchet, back to there on a ratchet, out to the side on friction, nice tolerances, rotation at the thigh. You have a double jointed knee here and here. Again, due to the sculpt, if you move this out of the way, you can get a bigger bend, a deeper bend, but it's kind of cheating, but you can do it. And the knee pad can move a little bit further out if you wanted to. We can get ankle tilts up to there, tilt forward, backward, and then the toe can tilt as well, so you can kind of do a walking pose. And for a quick size comparison, there it is next to the Mastermind Creations IDW Optimus Prime or Orion Pax design, and same size here in this scale. Now, if you put them next to a Masterpiece Optimus Prime, it will be a little small. So I just warn you that the robot mode isn't going to fit quite in with other Masterpiece scale figures, but if you're putting it with other Mastermind Creations figures, I think it works really well. So final recommendations on the Mastermind Creations Kultur. This is a really well done figure. I don't collect IDW anything, but as far as figures go, I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5, strong recommendation. It literally has no problems. All the articulation works, transformation is fun and intuitive. All the joints are toleranced perfectly. I didn't have anything too loose, too tight. Accessories work. There's only one accessory, but as it is, it works. And it just looks really good. It looks like Tarn. It plays the part. I mean, there's nothing about this that I wouldn't recommend. So if you are a fan of IDW or you just like this character, Tarn, this is a really good version of that character. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Niles for sending this for review, and we'll see you next time.